Julian, I want to bring you in a slight switch of focus. Gary Neville, of course, the former Manchester United defender, respected pundit as well in the UK, talking of Liverpool's title chances ahead of this game, saying they should prioritise the Premier League, forget about the Champions League. He said, I know it's very hard to do, but if they could go into February, March and April without it being the Champions League, I think they could have a very real chance if they have 3 weeks. Well, why? I think their method is exhausting for the front three, Salah, Mane and Firmino. They're dropping quality below them if there are injuries or playing Wednesday and Saturday. I think it will take its toll. Of course, Liverpool are in a pretty tough group which starts this week, including PSG, Julian, Napoli and Red Star Belgrade. What did you make of Neville's comments? Does he have any sort of point there?
I mean, I get the physical point that he's making about being tired at some point because they work so hard and because of that frenetic, intense football that they're playing, like we've mentioned before. However, they recruited heavily in the summer to have that depth of squad to be able to play every tournament that they're in this season, the league, also the domestic cups, and obviously the Champions League, where they did so well last season. I don't know why they should give up on the Champions League. For me, they've got enough talent, enough players in there to do well, both in the Premier League and in the Champions League. And if you drop the Champions League and by February you're 10 points behind City, what's left in your season then? So no, I think they should go and do their best in both. No, don't give up on anything, because I really believe they've got enough talent and enough depth in that squad to do well in both.
We know it's hard to win both, your domestic league and the Champions League. Very, very, it's been proved time and time again. But is this a bizarre concept for Neville to come out and say, give up on the Champions League?
When you think that this team was in the finals last year at Champions League.
Yeah.
So maybe that's where you build from, right? That should be an expectation for you because you've been able to make it up to that point. I would also say that the point differential between Manchester City and Liverpool last year was not such that the big deal was that they lost points in February, March and April. They lost the league by 25 points. 25 points. 25 points.
Yes.
So it's
25.
It's also 25. 25.
That's a lot of points.
Well, and then you start thinking, okay, well, if it is 25 points and it doesn't happen over 3 months, it happens over the course of the season. So then you have to think about how well or how poorly Liverpool did against the top six, which wasn't good. You also have to think about the games that they gave away early on in the season. We're talking about West Brom. We're talking about Swansea early on. It's not February. It's not February. That's not the problem. It's not March. That's not the problem. It's not April.
Yeah.
And so these performances and this form against top six opposition, as well as some of the points that you gave away to poor teams that are no longer in the Premier League, that's why you're 25 points behind. Not because you have tired players in February, March, and April.
Yeah. As much as I understand the point that Gary Neville is trying to make, makes sense. With all the focus that teams and pundits like ourselves make on teams finishing in the top four, to play Champions League football, to simply say, after doing all that, let's not bother try, it goes beyond me. Playing in the Champions League...
Before it's even started.
Before it's even started. Playing Champions League football is why you can attract the likes of Roberto Firmino and Mo Salah and all the other players you want to name, Alisson in between the sticks. You don't then turn around and say, well, even though we, told you we've got Champions League football to play, we're just going to play the kids. You're not going to be involved in this. Aside from which, when you are a player of that ilk, when you are a player of that quality, those are the games that you look forward to as much as any. Facing up against the likes of PSG, against Napoli, to sit here in September and tell these players, never mind that, I think flies in the face of everything you sold them on.
Especially when you just shown that you're good enough to get to the final of that very competition. You've just showed it with this group of players. And yes, things have to follow your way, but you've given them a taste of what it can be. And to take that taste away, no chance.
I think there's a lot of things, especially first half, we have to do better. If we're going to make the playoffs, we have to do better, and it'd be silly for us to throw the opportunity we have away now. So I'm sure the coach and myself will be reminding the players and everyone of the situation, the position we're in, and we have a real opportunity. We win our game in hand, we're in a playoff spot. So we have to make sure we keep progressing and keep picking up points.
Well, they've certainly given themselves, as Rooney says, a real opportunity. It's been a remarkable transformation. Just explain, what is it that Wayne Rooney does? How does he make the players on DC better around him?
Well, I think it's very simple. When he's playing in that more advanced position and you play the ball into Wayne Rooney, you know that the ball is going to stick. You know that he's going to be able to hold it up and he's going to pick out the right option and the right pass. And so what that does for players like Luciano Acosta and Darren Mattox and Arriola and Stever is it frees them up to simply put themselves in a dangerous position, trusting and knowing that Wayne Rooney is going to find them. So now they don't have to worry about the playmaking. They don't have to worry about the service. They just have to worry about making a run, understanding that Rooney's going to find them. It opens everything up. And now, no surprise, Luciano Acosta is banging goals for fun. Mattox is coming off the bench and scoring goals. And Arriola is dangerous down the right-hand side. And Stever is productive for them. It all comes by Wayne Rooney bringing everything together, and he's the one making the decisions. These guys now just have to use their instincts.
Some of the things he does, Shanker, look so easy. Just little touches, little give and goes, little chips over the top.
It's an understanding of the game that players like Wayne Rooney make look easy. That not a lot of people can understand and certainly master. Aside from what Wayne Rooney brings in terms of his talent, in terms of making those around him better, I think it's his understanding of an attitude every single minute of the game. Here you are, you win a game to put yourself within striking distance of making into the playoffs, and he is talking about correcting mistakes that we make early in the game. I think that transfers to the rest of the team in the way that they approach every single game, every single minute, because in MLS, I think too often teams wait to peak in the playoffs. And with the attitude that Wayne Rooney brings is, never mind what's to come, we have to worry about what's right now. And I think it's made DC United a better team for it.
And now they get a team, talking of peaking, who've been peaking all season long. The Red Bulls up next for DC. Can they find a way past the Red Bulls? Can they find a way to complete this job and get into the playoffs?
I think eventually they're going to get into the playoffs if they recognize that, look, we were left for dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
And they were dead.
Oh,
it was
dormant. It was done.
Even when Wayne Rooney was coming in, it was almost as if, look, Wayne Rooney's going to come in, he's going to help, but this is more building for the future, thinking about next year. Well, not next year, it's now. Because now they have a realistic chance. Now they have a real opportunity. So a game against New York Red Bulls, because it's a rivalry, there is some dislike there between the organizations. I also think that it's important for them as a measuring stick. Is that, okay, this is the top of the East. Let's see how far behind the top of the East we are.
Yeah.
And let's challenge ourselves and think, okay, if we can carry the game at home and we can beat this team, now we've opened up a whole world of possibilities for ourselves. Because now, if that's the best and we can compete against the best, everybody else we certainly can compete against.
Meanwhile, in the Western Conference, Dallas, Sporting Kansas City, LAFC, the top three. A little pack developing behind them. Seattle, of course, have been the side on the rise. The team heading the opposite direction, you have to say, it's been the LA Galaxy over the last month or two after what was a pretty good May, June and July for them. They are now on the outside looking in. And Ali, I know you haven't had a chance on the show yet to address what was only the second coaching change of the year in MLS, and that was the dismissal. Well, actually, I don't think it's fair to call it a dismissal. Sigi Schmidt departed from the Galaxy. Apparently it was a collective decision, whatever that means.
If you want to believe that.
He's been someone you've been so close to in your career. What do you make of?
First of all, prior to the dismissal or walking away of Sigi Schmidt, however you want to address it, you watch this team play, and having played for Sigi, and it didn't look like a Sigi Schmidt team. Too many mistakes defensively, too open, a team that was taking way too many chances, knowing that they were exposed in the back. And it just felt, as it has felt for a long time, that the team as a whole, the personnel as a whole, is unbalanced for the LA Galaxy. And so I just don't see how Sigi was supposed to address this when the pieces that you have available don't allow you to have that balance. And so the other option is you sit behind the ball, you leave Zlatan over there, and then you hope that you can get a goal on a counter, and from there, perhaps you get a result. Well, apparently that's not acceptable for the LA Galaxy, because we have to be entertaining, because we have to be open, because we have to be more than just a team that is pragmatic and practical. We can't have it both ways. And the overriding feeling that I have about this is that it's such a sad reality for Sigi Schmidt, a guy who has accomplished so much and who has a tremendous achievement in this league and in U.S. soccer, that a guy with that sort of history in this game walks out the back door. And this is what happened here. He walked out the back door. If you're Sigi Schmidt, you deserve a lot better. But as we know, we don't get to call the shots in the end of our career. And to that end, I just feel that Sigi was put in an impossible position, and one that he thought he was not going to get the best out of his players and decided to walk away, perhaps pushed away.
And now, continuing the theme of Alejandro Moreno, former coaches, Dominic Kinnear takes the reign. Any chance Zlatan and Galaxy can yet rescue this? They have 6 games. It's an uphill task for them, isn't it?
Yeah, and besides the fact that they're struggling themselves defensively, is who they have in front of them and the games played already. And so there's a differential in terms of matches played. I don't think Portland is coming back to them. RSL has been winning games and scoring goals. I don't think they're coming back to them. I just don't see how anybody comes back to the Galaxy and the Galaxy takes that jump. The LA Galaxy will fail to make the playoffs.
Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. It's
forgot where we
not
were.
easy for me to say, clearly. Yeah, I did briefly forget where we were.
It's right here.
It's been so long.
Really big.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's a giveaway.
I'm not going to mess around because we've got a lot of questions to get to, a lot of interesting questions to get to.
Oh, well. That's
Today.
a good first.
Yeah, well, that is a
time.
what, the not messing around
Yeah.
part? Yes. Julian Laurent is also with us, by the way.
He doesn't mess around either.
Actually, I'm going to start with Julian on this. Is Eden Hazard one of the top 5 players in the world, if not top 3 on current form? In my opinion, says the provider of this question, he's better than Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah, top 10 I give him.
No, he said top
right
5.
Now, top 5. I'm not sure Eden is in the top 5 right now. I can easily see 5 players in a better form than him right now. And you know, he had a very good World Cup. Well, he had a good World Cup, let's say, and he started the season, you know, fairly well, I would say, under Sarri at Chelsea. But I still think there's much more to come from him this season, when he's going to be at his peak physically, for example, fitness-wise, but also when the Sarri's team and Sarri ball is making Chelsea playing better and himself as well.
Seems like we have this conversation a lot about Hazard, just where he is in the grand scheme of things. Where do you have it?
Well, I would suggest that when we were having the conversation last week or the week before, whenever it was about the award from FIFA, the best or what have you, and then it's surrounded about whether Messi belonged in the list, why was he not in the finalists, was Mbappe? If he was not Mbappe, then Griezmann should have been there. The name of Eden Hazard did not come up in that discussion whatsoever. Now, it doesn't mean that he's not going to get to that point, but I do think that right now he's just on the outside looking. Barely on the outside looking in, but still outside.
Between 5 and 10 maybe, but not top 5.
Between 5 and 10, yeah. Top 5 now.
Right.
But he's close.
Yeah.
He's a neighbour.
He's been close for a long time, hasn't he? So we're all mourning the loss of the UEFA Nations League, as we talked about at the top of the show. Armando wants to know what you thought about the first wave of Nations League games, and you've got a lot of ways you can go with this. Success, failure, pointless, can't wait for more. Where are you on that spectrum, Shaka?
Success.
Yeah? Unequivocal?
I like the Nations League, in particular for what it means and what it provides for these smaller countries.
Yeah, success.
Success?
Success, and I wouldn't go as far as can't wait for more, but success. I do think that it's achieving what it was set out to do.
Would you go that far, Julian? Can't wait for more?
I'll go with success, like the boys.
Okay.
But you know what? It made me watch teams that I wouldn't have watched if they were playing friendlies, for example. So I like that side of it. I like, watching games that matters really, where both teams are up for it and they're this sort of similar level as well. I think that's better than a one-side game, for example. So no, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Watch out for Luxembourg, Julian. Watch out for Luxembourg. They're coming on strong. they're going for promotion.
They beat San Marino, didn't they? Yeah.
They did.
Hey, I was all over it. I was all over it.
Beat Moldova too. 2 games out too. Julian, do you think, asked Nick, that beating Liverpool in both group games will be enough for PSG to secure first place in the Champions League group? Remember Napoli, the other big team in that group. Do they have to beat Liverpool twice?
I mean, twice, and they're certain for me to finish top of the group. I think they're better than Napoli as well. If you beat Liverpool at home and you lose away, for example, considering that the away game is your first one in that group stage, that might not just be enough. But if you look at last season, they finished top of their group, and they had Real Madrid in the draw in the last 16 and they lost to them. So finishing first or second, I'm not sure they will care that much about it. But I think starting well away at Anfield at Liverpool will be really what matters the most to them, not so much if they finish first or second after that.
Right. Tasty group, though, isn't it? PSG, Liverpool, Napoli.
Well, apparently it doesn't matter, according to Gary Neville.
No.
Like, oh,
just jacket.
Hey,
just let the kids play.
We're out. You guys take it. Go ahead.
Yeah. Remetch really cuts to the heart of the matter here. Who's your favourite comedy talk show host? How we went from the Champions League to comedy talk show host, but
favorite
think
comedy
of them all
talk show host.
I'll throw mine out there. I'm a Bill Maher guy. I love Bill Maher.
I enjoy me some
HBO.
David Letterman back in the day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No one has since replaced him, huh? You know, he started that beard trend, didn't he? That now has gone viral.
It's a trend?
It's gone everywhere. Well, every talk show host. Colbert's got a beard. Everyone's got a beard. You don't, Shaka, but...
I missed that trend. I'm trying to think who's my favourite.
Famous favourite.
Trevor Noah.
Eh? Trevor Noah. Oh yeah, he's great. On.
Did you just throw that name guessing?
No, I just remembered.
Oh, okay. it sounded like you were saying.
I was thinking of what's his name? Something Oliver who does. Was it last week tonight?
John Oliver. Yeah.
I like that too.
Yeah. Well, Trevor Noah had the most unenviable task in talk show history, taking over from Jon Stewart. Did great. Julian?
That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you did not know that.
Julian, a favourite comedy talk show host from your side of the pond, your perspective?
Jimmy Fallon for me.
Oh, Jimmy Fallon, yeah.
Jimmy Fallon for me.
All right, nice.
Conan O'Brien is funny as well.
Well, I was going to go to one more question about being told no. That is it.
You've been shut down? We were shut down?
Goodness.
I had a question for each of you as well from Eric. Eric, fear not. We will get you a question.
It wasn't interesting enough. Our answers were not interesting enough. You know, people.
It's actually an individual question for all of you. Maybe tomorrow. Next edition of ESPN FC available on ESPN.
Okay, Eric.
I got jury duty tomorrow. What?
The international break is OVER. That's over, Shaka.
So
now the Premier League is back, and we are back in Premier League Predictor. Let's fly through them, Shaka. Spurs, Liverpool in the juicy clash of the week.
Yeah, I expect Spurs to bounce back after last weekend's defeat. That probably means that Liverpool are going to now win, and I'm going to be hearing it from Liverpool fans all week next week. But for now, I'm going with Spurs at home.
Liverpool have not given us anything to want to choose against them, I guess, apart from Alisson's antics last time around, Shaka. So I know Spurs are at home in this one. I'm tempted to go for a draw, but I can't believe I'm probably going to go for a Liverpool win. And I'll probably hear it from all the Spurs fans. Bournemouth, Leicester.
Not a lot to choose between these two losses to Chelsea and Liverpool, respectively, last weekend. Last game, 2 weeks ago. But I'm going to go with the home team with this one, Bournemouth.
I think that's a pretty decent shout, Shaka. But I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I'm going to sit on Shaka's favourite spot, the fence. Chelsea, Cardiff City,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, things are tough, Cardiff.
Things are tough, Cardiff. Sorry about that. Huddersfield against Crystal Palace.
Yeah, neither of these teams great. After Crystal Palace started away at Fulham and won, I thought, amazing. But, all that being said...
Really?
I still think Palace go on the road and get a win against Huddersfield, who just not convincing at all.
I know Palace haven't been that convincing either, especially away from home. Shaka, I think I'm going to go with the home team on this.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Huddersfield. Well, you mentioned Fulham,
Yeah.
and we expected them to not start too well, but they've had a couple decent times out. But now they go up against Manchester City. Can you make a case for them?
Yeah, listen, different bars here for these two. Fulham just want to stay up. I think they will. What we've seen so far, I've been impressed with. But City, home or away, is a difficult proposition in Manchester, even more so.
I love how you actually attempted to make a case for Fulham there, but...
Well, no, I'm not making a case. I'm just saying. That's not how they're going to be judged.
All right, let's get close to Shaka's heart now. Newcastle, Arsenal.
Listen, when Newcastle play against top six opposition, they're very defensive. I think that actually plays into the hands of Arsenal, who I'm not convinced about them at the back. I think they're getting better going forward. As hard as it is for me to say, I think Arsenal go to St. James's and get the win.
Yep, I'm going to choose the Gunners as well. Watford hosting Manchester United.
Watford, fantastic in that result
Yes.
against Spurs. I can't speak highly enough of them so far. I just feel in this one, Jose Mourinho will have his game plan. Manchester United get the result.
Oh, this is a tough one, Shaka, because everyone seems like a tough one for Manchester United. But I do have to go with Jose Mourinho's
I don't know.
men.
I don't know
keep
why you even
expecting them
pretended.
to get it
Yeah,
right
yeah,
every
yeah,
week,
yeah.
even when
Well,
they
it's always
don't. But I'm
gonna
going
be.
Wolves, Shaka, against Burnley.
Burnley, as good as they were last season, I expected more from them so far this
Yes.
season. And I think Wolves are a very good team. I think they get the result, particularly at home.
I do like Wolves as well, so I'm going to go with them. Everton against, oh, you're holding your head before I even said them. West Ham, Shaka. I'm going to make my pick really quick. What do you think? Oh, and you're going to make your pick really quick. It's okay. You don't have to explain. Your face says it all. Southampton, Brighton.
Like what Brighton are doing, but Southampton at home, I'm going to just give the home team the nod on that one.
I like Brighton at
other
home
reason.
too, you know, and certain people told me to choose Crystal Palace over Southampton last time around, and Southampton proved me wrong. So this time, I'm going to go with the Saints on this one. Thank you so much, Shaka Hislop. I know this one is hurting you so much, but we will see if West Ham's fortunes turn around this weekend, and you can continue tracking everything from the Premier League here at ESPN FC. Time to tackle more predictor, this time in La Liga. Shaka Hislop challenging me for this one. We'll see if I'm much of a challenge for the great one. Shaka, let's start off. Atletico Madrid, Eibar.
I think the issue here, Atleti just too strong at home.
Yeah.
Eibar have been terrible on the road. I go with Atletico Madrid.
I'm going to go with Atletico Madrid too, Shaka, because who am I to disagree with you?
Well, we'll soon find out.
Real Sociedad, Barcelona.
Sociedad lost to Eibar a couple of weeks ago at just about the same time that Barca were beating Huesca 8-2. Need I say more? I'm going to go. It won't be a six-goal spread.
No.
But I go with Barca.
Still surprised that they kind of conceded in that one. Although Huesca's been having a decent time, I suppose, until they match up against Barcelona in their first time in La Liga. But I'm going to choose Barcelona in this one. Valencia, Real Betis.
Desperately inconsistent Valencia. Betis, outstanding result against Sevilla a couple of weeks ago. All that being said, I think this is a big game and a must-win for Valencia. They get the job done.
So inconsistent, Valencia, in truth. And for that, I'm going for a draw.
Okay.
Shaka. I just don't know. I never know. I feel like I go for them, they lose or draw, and then I don't go for them, and they come out with a great win. Anyways, let's move on. Atletico Bilbao against Real Madrid.
This is going to be a tricky one. Our producer actually thinks we may be in for a bit of a surprise.
Oh, dear.
I don't. I just think Real Madrid, way too strong. Bilbao, decent, yes. But this Real are ticking and firing all cylinders.
I agree.
Okay.
I mean, I have to. Like, do I even need to try make a case for Real Madrid? They are,
Nah, I don't.
The name, the crest alone says it all. Thanks so much to Shaka Hislop. The logo, whatever you want to call it then.
The crest decides who
The
wins.
logo. Well, when you see that, Shaka.
I'm just
not even
saying,
you can
I'm
choose
just
against
saying.
them. We just like to argue. But anyways, to continue tracking La Liga, you know to keep it right here at ESPN FC. The Serie A is back again, and we are trying our hand at predictor. My challenger today is Shaka Hislop. Truly, I am his challenger because he is the maestro, Shaka. Let's start off with Inter Milan against Parma.
Yeah, I like to look at this Inter side. Disappointing that opening day result against Sassuolo. 5 goals in the 2 games since, yet to keep a clean sheet. I think they score goals again, still don't keep a clean sheet, but get the win over Parma.
I'm going to go with Inter as well because I picked them to be a bit of a dark horse, if you want to call it that, this season, or at least as well in the Champions League. Napoli needing to bounce back after that 3-0 defeat last time around before the international break. They're up against Fiorentina. It shouldn't be easy, Shaka. What are you thinking?
They bounce back-ish. Fiorentina have looked good in their 2 wins so far. I'm going to sit on the fence in this one. It's going to be a draw.
You little fence sitter, you, Shaka. I'm going to go with Ancelotti and his men to get the bounce back.
Okay.
I'm going for the win at home. Juventus against Sassuolo. You mentioned Sassuolo's win over Inter Milan. They have been doing well, Shaka, but Juventus are Juventus.
Juventus are Juventus. I still don't think Juventus have looked as good as maybe expected them to be. I think this will be a tougher forward battle than maybe one would expect. But still, Juventus at home, get the result.
Like you said, Juventus have not looked too well. Sassuolo have, and I've consulted in my research our good friend Matteo Bonetti, and he said that he's going to stick his neck out and go for the draw in this one, Shaka, so am I.
Is that a little
We're
cheat
going
sheet?
for the draw.
Do you have a cheat sheet going on?
That's part of my research, Shaka. It's like call a friend. Well, speaking of Matteo, he and Mark Donaldson will be calling this game on ESPN News on Sunday. Empoli against Lazio. What do you think?
Well, it should be a Lazio win, but Lazio have looked anything but themselves so far this season. Empoli, I think, have been decent at home.
Yeah.
And they've performed well. I'm going to go for Empoli.
You keep expecting Lazio to get things together, but it's just not there. But you know what, Shaka? I think they will in this one. Also because my nails kind of match. I love my tactics. Shaka, I have to find things to disagree with you. Cagliari, AC Milan. I'm going to tell you my pick right now.
I think Milan come back down to earth with a bump.
Ooh.
After they beat Roma a couple of weeks ago. Cagliari have been very strong at home. I'm going to go with them for the upset.
All right. You sound really proud of yourself for that one, Shaka.
Does it match my nails? I don't know.
No, but it matches kind of your Trini colors right there.
Oh, well, we'll take that.
You'll take that. All right. So Shaka and I disagreeing on quite a
couple.
Well, this is the first time we've disagreed on so many things, Shaka. Actually, it's not. Anyways, we'll see who does indeed come out on top and if Matteo led me astray with that big prediction. We'll see about that. Keep tracking it here at ESPN FC.